I just have few things to cover up. That since I have been covering Tripura violence, communal violence from the very start of the day, I think I won't use any alleged word here because after going on the ground and witnessing everything, I don't think there's any hidden truth in this. So on 14th morning, when we were surrounded by around 20 plus police officers in the hotel lobby, I think it felt close to being a criminal who needed to be dragged to police station, which was not possible without any huge police force. You know what was the irony? Among the 20 police or the army of men there were only two women journalists. After going through everything, I have come to this conclusion that the state is very scared. They are scared of, particularly of women who try to speak up, against them. And I have few instances to back what I say, because in a trembling democracy like ours, it's very, uh, it's very, it like in a trembling democracy like ours, even to utter a word, we have to be very careful, because if we are not careful or we do not have facts to back it up, we have to pay a very heavy price. So, on one hand, while the mainstream media very easily blinded away from the real news, like they always do, the digital people and individuals on Twitter took the onus to become the voice of voiceless. When the vandalization and burning of various mosque from Tripura made a huge news, a very handful of people or news portals covered it. It would be absolute naive on my part, or for anybody to think that Swarna and I got arrested because we were on the ground. No, we were always on the radar of Tripura police, because they following me on Twitter, their district police officers following me on Twitter, their replies on my Twitter tweets were very evident that I have made myself very vulnerable and was being watched every time. Covering the vandalization and burning of Dargah Bazar Masjid on 11th November from ground zero just gave them more authority, or let's say very easy to catch us. On 13th, when we reached Pal Bazar Masjid to cover again the burning and vandalization of Masjid there, we were welcomed by huge police force. They said, "Your security is our concern." From my car to the masjid in far away distance, all I could see was police officers all around us. Probably, I think, waiting for us to come so that they could lodge a complaint against us. I'm not actually kidding here, because that's what actually happened in the next day. After escorting us everywhere and clicking my end number of pictures on their phone for the entire day, we sensed of something that was not just limited to security. Next day, when we were checking out from our hotel, we saw a line of police officers who asked us to reach to the nearest police station because some VHP guy had lodged a complaint against us. Just note, all of this was happening before the sunrise, and no further notice was served to us. And I think there is something very funny here. It was the same bunch of police officers who gave us security yesterday, who was with us for the entire day. And today they came up with an FIR stating that we were trying to instigate the Muslims against Hindus. I wonder how these people are going to even put this argument ahead of the court, because the court is obviously going to ask them, if these two girls were trying to instigate violence against against Hindus, what were you guys doing then? Uh, but nevertheless, after banging our heads for more than 3 hours with them, we were sent. We were served with a 41A notice, and that was a relief for us. Little did we know that administration had things planned for us. On our way to Silchar, when we were going to catch a flight, our car was abruptly stopped at Neelam Bazar police station by the officers. For good initial 20 minutes, neither we were told nor we were served with any notice as to why we were being detained. They just told us that they have got an order. And as Swarna told you guys, she mentioned she was manhandled by a police officer as well. This says a lot about the degrading law and order in our country. In India, where we were made to sit in the police station from 2:30 in the afternoon till 6:30 without any formal order or notice. The violation of basic human rights did not just stop there. Upon the arrival of Tripura police at around 7, we were denied any legal aid or showcase of any formal order or arrest warrant. The escort team then threatened us to go with them or else strict action would be taken. Again, note all of this was happening post sunset, where women were forced to sit without any warrant or transit remand. Sensing a lot of truckers all around us, the escort team decided that we will be taken to shelter home and not to 150 kilometers far away to Tripura at night. After all the formalities were done, we reached the shelter home. It was very dark, absolutely no light and sound of neighbors. uh, After getting our bags checked, each pair of jeans, top, and everything checked, we were really devastated. I think I actually forgot to mention about the shelter home. It was a 3-story building with an iron gate, in each floor secured with 2 locks. The house was fully empty, giving us a sense that we were being trained for jail and again felt like some wanted criminal. Again, all of this was done without any formal complaint. I'm focusing on the complaint because it again shows how there is no respect for law and order, and how the state can go, they can stoop down to any level to harass anybody who go against them or to bring out the truth. As much as I or Swarna never wanted to feel like a criminal, I guess the police and the state left no chance to make us feel like one. I'm mentioning the state here, even when the case is on, because I think there is no chance that the state had no knowledge, or this was all of this was done without the knowledge or consent of those sitting in power. Only after a long tiring day, when we tried going to sleep, we could hear the voice of jeeps coming down, like down the building. Not after long, at around 12:30, we were asked to get ready and come down, for we had to leave for Tripura. I still wonder the intensity of fear or threat which the state might have felt while arresting 2 women journalists from their own shelter home, because, repeating, 4 jeeps, 1 minivan full of CRPF, and 1 Scorpio full of police officers just to catch 2 women journalists. That's too much
One more minute.
pressure.
Okay. Please continue 1 more minute.
Yeah, that I think that's too much to curb the freedom of press and freedom of speech. I think after 12 hours, we got bail from Udaipur court. Since that day, the intimidation hasn't reduced, but it has increased, because apparently bail took off all the media attention out of the court, out of the case, giving a free hand to the police to interrogate us in any manner they want. I'd like to end by saying that in India, Modi and his government advertises a lot about Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. I think the irony is, you don't let them read, you don't let them speak, you don't let them work. It's just that you talk a lot about women empowerment, but at the very same time, you try to hunt them down by using all the machinery you have in power, in control. Thank you.